This is a Fulcrum Technologies screencast.
In this screencast, we're going to go over a variety of reasons why your uploads to the Amplify platform may fail when you are uploading an aVault. We are currently working on developing a feature within Angles called the Prepare for Amplify Upload, which will flatten out all of your files, whether it's a composer or a timeline, movie timeline package, and prepare them in a single aVault to be uploaded to Amplify exactly as Amplify needs it to be to ingest it. If you're currently using a build of Angles 1200 or earlier, this feature isn't available. So here's a few little ideas and tricks that you can check as part of your upload to make sure that the files are going to upload correctly. So there's kind of 4 different parts to this, 4 different reasons a upload may fail. So the first we're going to talk about won't necessarily cause the upload from Angles to fail, but will give you some strange behaviors on the web platform if you haven't done certain checks. So first off, I'm going to open up this Angles file, or this Angles Vault Brazil v Spain review. Now what you'll see first of all as we open up this Angles Vault is we have our movie and timeline ready to go in our super tab. This is what you may expect you are going to be uploading, which is just a single angle movie collection and a timeline. However, if we then look across in our sidebar, you'll actually notice that we've got a composer inside of this vault, plus another movie collection, which has some IP footage of an office. And then there is a 4-angle movie collection from an athletics field. It's very easy if you aren't paying attention to the sidebar here to think, oh, I'm going to upload this vault because it just has a movie and timeline in view, and then that is what's going to get uploaded. Even though this is a single angle video inside of this movie timeline collection, watch what's going to happen when I then try and upload this to Amplify. I'm going to drag it in here, drag and drop my file, and you'll immediately say that it says the number of videos should be less or equal to 4. We only have 1 video inside of that package, as we've already seen. However, because we have 1 video here, another video here, and 4 videos here, the total number is being read as 6. This is obviously a problem and will stop you from being able to upload this to Amplify. Just to also further elaborate on this point, having multiple movie collections inside of a vault that you try to upload may, if there are less than 4 video angles across those multiple movie collections, allow you to upload this. But the end result on the Amplify web platform will not be what you are expecting. So let's demonstrate this. If I remove these 2 camera angles, so right-click remove, we are now looking at a vault that has 2 plus 1 plus 1. So we have less than the 4 video angles that Amplify is limiting us to. However, they are all across multiple different movie collections inside the same vault, which is not how Amplify likes to read things. Let's close this down again, and let's try our new vault. This time it will allow us to upload it. But word of caution, if you do not follow the correct procedures and have multiple movie collections inside of a vault before uploading, you will get some strange behaviors. I'm going to start this upload and then I'll show you the end result. Okay, so my video is finished uploading and you can see I've got my Brazil vs Spain review vault here ready to go. You'll also notice immediately that the thumbnail is showing my IP office camera as opposed to the other footage that I might have been hoping, which was tied to the timeline, which was the football footage, the Brazil v Spain game. If I click into this and view this file, you'll notice that my timeline is there. And in the side here, I actually have my IP camera, my Brazil v Spain camera, and then I also have my discus overhead and sides as different angles within the same package. Obviously, these videos do not align with this timeline, and that is going to cause problems. So this is what may happen. So you may end up waiting for your package to upload and not have the correct movie timeline package on Amplify if you don't follow the correct procedures. So if you do come across this scenario inside of Angles, where if we reopen up our Vault, where you have all of these different files inside of a Vault, but you're expecting to only have the one movie and timeline available for you, this is where it's really important and a really handy way to prepare yourself until we introduce the prepare for upload feature. Simply open up the movie timeline that you expect to be uploaded from that Vault, right click in the window bar up the top here, clone that window, and let's make it the cloned. We're going to save that to the same Angles Vault, the Troubleshooting Vault here. Going to export that, and you will see I now get a brand new Vault cloned with just the 2 files inside of it. This is the really handy thing about cloning your footage. This is what helps it get prepared for the Amplify upload. When we upload that Vault now, it will work exactly as expected with just the correct movie and timeline with no unnecessary second angles. Let's start that upload and we'll come back and show you the result afterwards. So here we are with the end result. The cloned file is up here. You can see that the video file is less in size than the previous one. And if I click into this, immediately you can see I've got my movie and my timeline with just its independent single angle. Now, the next thing that may end up resulting in an Amplify upload to fail is if you have created an archive of certain games or clips from games over a large period of time within Angles. So here I'm going to open up this football archive example here. So I've grabbed all the goalkeeper clips from 2 different games. As you can see, there seems to be one here between Venezuela and Mexico. And there's one over here, which is a women's game between Australia and Sweden. So because these movies have 2 different sources, we will immediately see when we try and upload this. If I grab this archive and upload it to Amplify, we will get the number of videos needs to be less or equal to 4 again. Now, as you can see, there are 4 video files in both of those 2 games that have been archived together. So this should technically work. If we right click on the video to reveal the movie data, however, you'll actually notice that it opens up Finder and shows you the inside of these packages. So what we're looking at is the single videos local file inside of the video groups. Sometimes it may sit inside the single videos folder in the parent directory if you're using an older version of Angles. But inside of this video group, you get these single videos locals, and each folder here has a video data folder inside of it, which is each particular camera angle. Now, inside of each of those video data angles, you'll see there's 2 different videos. Now, the reason for that is one of them is the Venezuela Mexico footage, and the other is the Australia women's footage. There will be 2 videos inside of each angle because the footage has been appended to the back of it each time this archive has been created. Until we get the ability to flatten out this with the prepare for upload feature inside of Angles, this means that Amplify will read this as 4 times 2. So for every angle, there will be 2 videos appended back to back, which means that we're looking at 8 angles, and so it is above the 4 angle limit. The only way to solve this inside of Angles right now is to export a video for the entire length of that archive and recreate a movie timeline with that cut clip and the JSON. To do that, we're going to create a clip the full length of the timeline. So I'm just going to create an empty clip here from start to finish. Let's make sure it starts at 0, 0. And we're going to make sure it ends at the very end of the clip. So we're covering the entirety of that video. We're going to cut that clip to our desktop, or we'll save it to the same folder. We can choose whether or not we want to transcode that on the way out. In this case, I'm not going to. And then we're just going to wait for the cuts to be exported into that folder. And then we can go ahead and create a new movie timeline. You can see I've got my 4 camera angles. They are each 14 minutes long. It's a single angle from the 2 different games. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and export my JSON. I don't need to resave that, but I'm going to send it into here as well. Save. And there's my JSON. We can now create a new vault. And let's call this Football Archive After Export. Create a new movie timeline. Give that a link. I'm going to drag these 4 angles in, create new angles, and I have a new package and I can import my JSON in there as well. So there's my package. It'll be exactly the same. It'll be a ready to go vault for upload to Amplify. So let's try this one now. Close down angles, drag this one in. And as you can see, we don't get blocked by the requiring 4 angles or less. And here we go. We can hit upload and this one will work perfectly. So here we are with our finished archive footage uploaded. Let's go have a look into it. As you can see, I've got all 4 camera angles available to me. I've got the entire 14 minutes worth of footage, and I've got all of the clips as well. The third scenario where people might start running into issues with Amplify uploads is when you have been using Piston and angles in conjunction during a live training or game scenario. When doing so, you likely run a localized version of Piston on your angles so that you can take it down at half time or quarter time to go present in the change rooms or any other number of reasons. If you then continue to use this footage post end of the capture and end of the live environment, we end up with a scenario where we are running completely disconnected from a Piston server and we can run through the footage and we have localized footage running locally. There's 385 megabytes here on my device. But what you'll notice is if we quit angles and try and upload this to Amplify, we will get the same error. The number of angles should be less or equal to 4. Now, the reason for this is because when you are localizing from Piston during a live scenario, you are grabbing fragmented MP4s. So there are multiple different MP4 files within those movie angles inside of the movie collection. So let's open up that Piston folder again, the Piston download folder, and let's right click and reveal the movie data. The first thing you can immediately tell when you're in that you're in the wrong here is before we even click that is you can still see we've got that HLS movie options, which you would be familiar with from your live recording scenarios. If this is a video sourced from a HLS capture, then you are going to have issues uploading this to Amplify. If we look at reveal movie data, you'll actually notice that the video data package in each of those movie collections contains multiple fragmented MOV files. Amplify will read this as multiple movie angles, and as such, it cannot upload these files. Until we add the Prepare for Amplify upload feature to angles, we will need to either do the exact same workflow we did for our archive and create a clip in a row for the entire movie, cut that clip to make it a single movie, and then replace each of these angles. Or the recommended method anytime you use a live workflow from Piston is to simply download the captured footage as opposed to the HLS and replace the HLS footage with this downloaded footage. So here we have our 3 videos have been downloaded from Piston. These are going to be single videos. So now I can make sure our Piston download folder is our focus vault. Create a new movie collection. Find those 3 downloaded files. Drag and drop them in. Let's call this Piston download as well. Link our timeline to the new movie collection. And you can see these 2 are the open ones. We can remove the older one, send that to the trash. That was the HLS. You'll also notice that the size will likely be different. This is another reason we recommend you download the file as an MP4 rather than use the HLS, because in a lot of scenarios, we dumb down that HLS stream to 720 rather than 1080 to make the streaming quality better and avoid any buffering on a Wi-Fi environment. So we get the best quality footage, plus it's a single file rather than a fragmented MP4. We can move the old one to the trash, and here we have our complete Piston download vault that should now upload directly to Amplify. So let's try that again. We'll quit here and we're gonna go back to Amplify. Let's grab our Piston download. And as you'll see, this time it is going to work. So here we are, we've got our Piston download fully uploaded. We click into it. All the clips are still there from the timeline. All 3 camera angles available, the full footage, and we can scrub all the way through. The entire footage is there because we downloaded the 1080 quality instead of using the localized HLS. The final issue you may run into when trying to upload vaults to the Amplify platform is when you have a composer that has imported images or videos into it. Currently, there is no workaround until we have the export and prepare for Amplify upload from angles to solve this. However, it is really important that when you have a review composer that you check that it has this little S to show that it is a standalone composer. That is the only type of composer that can be uploaded to Amplify. And you really need to make sure that once again, the standalone composer is in its own isolated vault. You can see here when there are images or videos that are imported. The imported videos look a little bit like this. They're generally purple and they have this little square at the start, and images will actually show the image in the thumbnail here. If we right click on the composer here in the sidebar and reveal in Finder, you can also see that this MOVs and pics folders appear inside of that content. If there are any MOVs or pics inside of these folders, then generally that means you're going to have a problem when it gets uploaded to Amplify. So let's try right now uploading this to Amplify. And as you can see, it says that the number of angles is once again more than 4, and so you cannot upload it. That is because we have 4 angles here plus an additional angle inside of the imported video. If we, for example, removed this video, let's remove the topic as well. We're going to then go along and remove this image, and we should then be able to upload because we now don't have any imported videos or images. Finally, here we are with our review composer uploaded with all of the clips, but none of the imported videos or images. As mentioned, once we finish this feature work inside of Angles to get the prepare for Amplify export, uploading standalone composers with images and imported videos will definitely work.